Greetings, my friend. How you doing?
I just won a game in like 10 minutes, so that's nice.
I have a couple games I wouldn't mind you looking at.
Alright,
Uh,
that's good, that's good.
they're like really hard games that I think I usually struggle in. I think my decision making on average was a bit better, but I would still like to hear if there were a couple close moments here and there. I'd like to hear your thoughts on.
Do you also think Zero's like OP? Or is it only me?
In pubs, I think he's like broken as shit. Yeah.
So I usually go Bulldoze at 4. It's more move speed that way. Not sure if you want to do that though.
Yeah, I've seen you've been doing that. I hadn't played Spearbreaker since I saw you do that.
Surprised you won with PA Windrunner. That combo is awful to me.
Yeah, people just buy MKB, right?
Yeah. I mean, not even winning this game really. I like it though that you're pushing out these lanes. I don't want the dead lanes. I think Spearbreaker is
You don't like that, or you do like
No,
that?
I do it all the time too.
Yeah.
Because I think this hero does not farm jungle, and I don't think you want to be with your team most of the time. You want to be like farming a wave and then connecting to your team when they make a play. I think that's how you pretty much play this hero.
Yeah, I have a
I
similar impression.
don't know about this one, but
I mean, my PA built Battle Fury, so I just thought we weren't going to be doing anything for a really long time. That's how it felt. That's why I did it. I'm not saying it's right. I just didn't know what else. Like, I knew Echo Saber was the other option, but
yeah.
canceled the charge on accident because I'm trash.
Should get the shard, I think, next time. I think shard's kind of broke.
Really? Okay.
I'm not broke, but I think it's very good. Yeah.
I value it like highly against heroes that need to be broken, or times where I could pop it or like use the shard immunity in place of BKB for the early part of the fight, but
Yeah.
otherwise I don't tend to prioritize it until later.
Alright, we can look at a real game now.
I mean, honestly, we lost this game 100% because my broodmother bought a shadow amulet and AFK after one fight, but I want to watch the first 20 minutes. That's depressed kid.
Do you think there's a difference between how NA position 5 people in pubs play and Europe position 5 people in pubs play?
I do. Yeah.
There's no specific reason I'm asking, I'm just curious.
I do, yeah.
What do you think is the difference?
I actually think this guy plays a lot like more NA5s, where he just pulls all the time. I feel like NA5s pull way more, while 5s here like to contest the lane more.
Okay. So that was
Like,
the
if I had to
origin
complain
of the argument
What was?
with you and Gorg, right? He wanted you to play a European
Yeah, I
5.
mean, that was the origin of the argument.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's where that came from. That's interesting. I see.
It's interesting because, like, what I'm saying is if, like, they're likely to do low skill shit, in NA it's more likely they're pulling when they're not supposed to, and in EU it's more likely that they're contesting the lane when they're not supposed to.
Yeah.
Is what I've noticed.
So
here I TP back in, literally saying I might die again, but I didn't know where else to go. I could have maybe gone top. I like thought about this really hard during the game itself, but I really wasn't sure. I'm like, I have a catapult that's super low. Like, I've got strength treads and a raindrop. Broodmother lane's not really happening. I didn't really know where else to go. I'm like looking at my options on the map, and
I mean, I would probably TP bottom here too.
Okay.
I mean, there's nothing else. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, I knew it was close. I knew I could potentially die. I didn't know what else to do in the game, so.
I don't think you can go top.
Yeah.
I think you just need to dark pack that off now with the slow. Then you're fine.
Well, I tried to kill the catapult was the idea.
Okay. I think if you dark pack off the slow, I think you might be fine. Maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe not. I don't know. Could be wrong.
I think I would have had to 100% lose the tower, and then, like, why did I TP anyways?
I mean, ideally, like this
thinking.
clown has a TP and he TPs, and you guys kill them both.
I see.
Probably the play.
I'll take
like,
that. That's what I like to hear, baby. Let's go.
I think if you TP down here, like, try to make sure that guy has a TP. Or, like, tell him he needs to fucking be ready to TP here. Because I think if you TP's, like, I think they just feed. Okay, now it's kinda weird, because your Brood is not really doing a whole lot. What is he buying on White's Road? Oh, wow, okay. No face puts to kill the spiders. Interesting, alright. Let's see.
Does that make your Astral Step, like, one-shot them or something?
No, Astral Step into Max Shield one-shots them, yeah. But you need face puts for it. The small ones, they die, right? But the big ones, they only die with, I think, phase boots, max shield, and you used to be able to need a Venom too, but I don't think you need it anymore. So yeah. Oh no. Oh god. I'm really concerned that your brute hasn't taken the target. That is very concerning to me. Have you been seeing that hero more lately?
I've been seeing Brood like 2 or 3 times a day.
Like, I don't know where it came from, but all of a sudden I see brutes and like, maybe once a day I see it. Only past midnight though. Like, I have like 1 game past midnight every day where someone brutes me and I'm like Invoker or something. Yeah, I think most brute players are pretty terrible, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you're qualified to state that, I'm not.
They only pick it if the enemy team has absolutely no counter. If they have 1 counter, they lose the game because they don't know what to do. Anyways, we're looking at your farming patterns here.
My idea with the pick was like I had like no defensive heroes on my team, so if I got caught, it was like all myself to like to get out.
Yeah.
So that's why I picked Slark in the first place. Also, they had picked Medusa, so thought it was a good matchup.
Yeah, I would think you go diff against the Medusa.
Yeah, I said if I had a good game, I'd go diff you, but I've played this matchup before. I'm not saying I'm like 100% right, but I've played this matchup. If I go diff you, I just die to Pango like every fight. So, like the Pango matchup's pretty trash. You kind of just have to jump him and he dies. Otherwise, you can't focus the Medusa with your items. In my experience.
Oh fuck, sorry. Oh fuck, they came from nowhere. I heard what you said though.
Bless you, sir.
Thank you. I think now
yeah, I think the
like
biggest thing I've noticed
sailing.
that like high tier carry players do is like if they don't have the right information to leave their lane, they just sit there and like try to posture as if the enemy team was ganking them and what they would do if that's the case. That's what I've seen pretty much all carry players do. I definitely have not done that historically. This is the part where like you have to give your opinion here. I want your exact opinion on the results of like. Can you pause actually? It's actually really important to pause.
Aegis, my friend.
I didn't think I really needed it personally because I thought like once I get Scotty, I'm not gonna die anyway, and before Scotty, I don't really want to fight. And
okay. I mean, the way I see it,
that was the idea.
Slark is I see Slark exactly the same as Storm actually. Like you can.
He's like an amazing
idiot commit with Aegis, and you become like your hero becomes twice as strong with the Aegis because suddenly you don't need to care about dying anymore.
The only thing I disagree with you there is because like with Storm, you blow all your mana, you get damage, and then like you come back full strength. But as Slark, you like get all the essence shift, and then you die, and you come back with no essence shift. So I don't think he's like quite as good as Storm.
Oh, it just disappears? Or what?
Yeah, essence shift goes away with Aegis death.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah. I mean, the only other case then is that to kill a Slark, you usually need to power a lot of spells, and then when you have Aegis.
No, it's true. Yeah, like I can make them commit a bunch of spells on me. I totally understand that part. Like it's very similar to Storm there. I'm just saying that like if Storm's like a 10 out of 10, I'd put Slark at like a 6 or a 7 is like what I would do. So
sure, I can.
But like I want to know what you're thinking in this game. Like in my eyes, I'm thinking like I'll just tell you first, and then feel free to tell me what you think. I'm thinking like we have 5 minutes of Aegis. What's my exact goal here? I'm trying to remember what I was thinking. I'm like I'll have Scotty by like about the end of the Aegis, maybe 3-4 minutes. I'm thinking like we have really good pick off. The enemy team can't really kill me. Brute has Aegis, so they can't really kill him either. Let's just like out farm them, get Scotty, and like run at them towards the end of the Aegis.
Yeah,
that's like what I was thinking here. And I need to know generally what you would be thinking here.
I think you want to have about 70% of the map when you have Aegis Slark. So that means you pretty much only want them to have like a triangle and maybe like these 2 games. I think if they get more than that, I don't know if you're winning, because he has butter right now, probably.
Yeah.
Almost 1K. I think if the game is right now as it is right now, you see the heroes on the minimap, like 4 heroes are pretty much mid or triangle, and 1 hero is like kind of pushing a bottom. If you can keep this up and farm at the speed you guys are farming right now. Like 2 heroes are far more than 1 Dusa, I think you guys will win. But I think if you give them more space than this, I think they will win. So it's just a matter of... My view
is that like none of them can come top. Like
I mean, none of them should be able to come top because you're there, right?
That's what I'm saying. Is like my hero single-handedly controls like half the map. So I figured Like, I agree with the sentiment that you're saying, and I thought, like, if I play top half, the rest of the 4 could control, like, mid lane plus, like, what
Bottom
you're
here,
saying,
yeah.
basically. Yeah, that's what I figured.
It's like these hills, you know? Like, if they cross
Yeah.
these hills, they should almost always die.
Yeah, and, like, I would TP to something like that. Like, on our side of the map, I would TP.
Yeah, so what I would call for here, if I was, I don't know, like, I've been in this position as alone, like, hundreds of times, right? I would say, like, I'm gonna hit top. I want you guys to put, like, a ward here, or a ward here. And if they ever show on these wards, we need to TP right away. Or, ideally, we have a Sanking and Sky sit here, you know? And then they just kill them when they
I've never
come
actually made calls like this. You think this is
This is like, this is what Nightfall does, like, every single fucking pub game. Like, Nightfall actually talks non-fucking stop about these things. Like, he takes Aegis. He knows they're not going to kill him top, because he's an Aegis carry, right? He can safely hit the Sirtu tower. They will never come there. And then he tells his team to put a ward here, or a ward here, or a ward on the shrine. And then the initiators should sit in the jungle here, with like a 4 or the 5 maybe, as a follow-up. And whenever they enter these jungle regions, they should just go on them, and you will TP in right away.
Yeah, I agree. That makes sense.
There is a slow way to approach this, and that is Brood pushes out mid, right? Sanking and Sky sit here. They sit in front of you, basically, and you still get a free tier 2. And then after that, you have to probably call this, that you want to smoke over to the triangle. That is like... That is a really similar thing. Like,
I've definitely made that kind of call.
Yeah, it's probably easier in pubs to do that, you know? Like, your team just sit in front of you, you take the T2 comfortably, you take the outpost, and then you smoke over to the triangle S4. Your Brood should still push out mid, maybe send some spiders into scout. I think that's a much simpler call to do in pubs than, like, the ward set up bottom. The ward set up bottom gives your team a lot more gold, because they get all these camps. You can farm all these camps on Sanking while you wait for him to come up here. In this case, Sanking is maybe farming like a medium camp, and that's it, until you take the T2. Because you probably want like the lane and all these camps, you know?
Okay.
So your Sanking and your 4-5 are not farming that much in this instance. They're kind of just waiting for you to take the tower and then to smoke over. I think that's easier to do in pubs, because it's just simpler. It's less steps, you know? So, yeah.
I think you and I have like a very similar perspective of this, but I would describe it like a 9k MMR player, and you would describe it like a 10.5k MMR player. So you're just more in depth and more specific about what each person in the game is doing. But I agree with everything you're saying here.
So I think next time, it's just one line you have to do. Like, guys, I take the sit top, go smoke after. I think that's all you have to say.
In this case, I said I'm farming top. I'm gonna get Scotty and then run at them is what
I think that's a lot worse than saying what I did. I think.
Yeah, no, I'm in total agreement with you.
I think you can't really farm an item that is like 1.6k away with Aegis. I mean, ideally, this Aegis is on you. I stand by that point. Like,
okay,
if this Aegis is on you, you run up this hill and you're like high-fiving while you run up the hill. You know, you like pull out the high-five button. You run up this hill with Aegis. You know.
I'm doing it right now. I'm running up this hill, or is this after the tier 2?
After tier 2. I mean, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. I think you want the outpost always.
Go and play it out then. I feel like I've heard your thoughts and hear what you think here. I'm gonna farm top. You can watch the rest of the team. My team called to run into their triangle, and I said I'm not coming to this, is what I explicitly said to them.
I have a feeling they're about to feed here.
I said I'm not coming. I said it like 4 or 5 times in game. I barely even looked. Like, I looked to see what abilities were casted, but, like, I barely looked at this.
Oh, no. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
After this, depressed kid pinged me and bitched at me and then bought a shadow amulet, so... When I coach people and I tell them, like, they're supposed to push mid or they're supposed to, like, get a rune or whatever, you know, they'll just be, like, 5 seconds slow. I feel like I'm processing what you're telling me I'm supposed to process. I think you just processed it faster than I do because you're, like, more practiced at it, I think. I don't think I have a ton of experience making this decision correctly. I really think that's all it is. I think I'll get better with time. I think I just do it slow. I don't think that's, like, an excuse. It's just kind of, like, how I think it is. I think I'll get better.
Okay. Like I think.
But yeah, I can see what you mean by like this. Like I could
Here I'm out, dude. I am out.
Yeah,
I am
just
out.
walk left. Yeah, just walk left.
I'm running top here. I'm like no.
Yeah,
and
this
honestly,
step right here is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what you're talking
like
about. Yeah,
42, he missed the stun. 42.
Yeah.
That is.
I agree. And then I linger here for another 13 seconds. Yeah.
It's actually 20 seconds
agree.
until you run top. That's massive, to be honest.
No, I agree. Okay, that's good. I'm glad you pointed that out.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, I have one more game I want you to check out.
Let's do it.
Got
This
one
game
more
was actually. I actually feel pretty bad for you.
I last picked here. I saw everything but Tinker. So feel free to comment on the pick as well.
Everything but Tinker.
My thought was, you can totally correct me. My thought is we needed a hero that jumps back lines, but we also needed a hero that kills Lifestealer because we have nobody that kills Lifestealer. He might have been banned, but maybe I just didn't pick him. He might have been banned. I actually don't know.
I mean, I'm just talking about myself because I don't play PA, so I would have picked Monkey here.
No, I think Monkey King would be probably a better option if he was available. It probably was a better option.
I think you just kind of stun kill either supports.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, Monkey King's like really good against Sky, nice against DK in lane. He might have been free. So if he was, that was a mistake. I agree. Anything else you see that's like a better pick or?
Faceless Void maybe with SF and the ET. I think ET Faceless Void is very underrated combo.
Faceless Void. Okay.
And
I felt like Faceless Void's like hard to play against Disruptor Sky, but
yeah, it is. I think
if I think my team needs it, then I'm down to like it does go well with the lineup I have.
It's gonna be an easy game, I think, for sure. But I think it's possible. They're very good with your team. It's like average against their team, I would say. Faceless Void, but definitely very good with your team. Alright. That's a VP off lane, huh?
Yeah. It was a good lane. We actually won it. Me and this rank 500 Jakiro, so.
BSJ is the PA in this instance, guys.
Yeah, it's a very lovely name I have here.
So have you done this once, or what? You tranquilling once?
I've done it 7 times now.
And how many you win?
3.
3? That's not bad. It's almost half.
I'm not even trolling. Yeah, it is. Better win rate than I had supporting them.
Oh, holy shit.
I was ahead by DK by like 400 gold, and I don't think I'm supposed to be. By like 10 minutes.
I actually think they have a winning lane, to be honest.
Yeah, I think they have the stronger lane. He like stuns me here on DK, and then I kill this guy. Yeah.
Oh, that's very good decision making. I like it.
Yeah, I actually think I played
very
this lane
quick
really
too.
well.
That was a nice. I like it.
I'm trying to play more aggressive. If you saw like the Slark game, level 1, I got hit by the Pango crash, and I got hit by the Wyvern Q, took like 500 damage, and then I proceeded to hit them like 6 times. That's the kind of shit I see a lot of these like really good carry players do that I've like always been kind of a puss, so I don't really have a good history with those type of decisions. So in general, I'm like trying to think about when the opponent's spells are on cooldown, and in this case, like the DK stun, and I'm like, holy shit, I can just jump the Sky.
If you can trade supports here, I think you're very happy as P.
Yeah, no, this is... I mean, I thought the lane went fantastically. It's just like a game where it devolves into both my other lane. My SF couldn't really do anything, and my bottom lane lost, like, really fucking hard. It was actually, like, crit Zai. I guess they were just countered in lane, but they got shit stomped pretty hard.
Yeah, I think you're timing this game. You're going battle free, right?
Yeah.
Probably you have to go battle for BKB and fight on that timing. Is what I would advise you in these games. When they have really very, very high magical damage. I think BKB's second item is almost a must in those situations. I hope you buy it this game second.
I do go second item BKB.
Okay.
I actually think, compared to old me, I play really fucking well this game, but there's still like a couple mistakes I made that were like... because the game was so hard and I made those mistakes, that it ends up, you know, making the game a loss, I think.
Yeah.
What's the timing usually on Tinker Blink if you're having like a decent game?
Is it if you have Bottle Soaring Blink at like 10 minutes, you're like, it's GG's. It's really, really good. Like
I wonder what you think about this TP. If I'm grieving myself.
What made you TP here? What did you see that made you TP?
It's a combination of like the hero that threatens me using his spell and like feeling like top lane was kind of ass.
Okay.
That was what I thought. I'm not saying it's right. That was just what went into it.
I mean, do you think you can stay top against DK plus potentially a Tinker?
I felt like SF was constantly playing around me, in a way that was like make sure I don't die, and it didn't feel good to me. I wasn't sure if it's good or not. I felt like if I was top, I would constantly demand people playing around me, and maybe that was correct because my offlane got dumpstered. I'm not actually sure. So this was one of the decisions I wanted to talk to you about.
I think what you saw is like not really a justification to TP, I would say. Okay. Because you saw a static storm and like a 70% HP Nyx hitting them, right?
Yeah.
Usually
when I make these TPs, I'm thinking like a combination of like how good or bad my lane is, and then also like.
Okay. I mean,
it's a combination of what I see, but also like the good or bad of my lane, and I didn't like the idea of like TPing back or like staying top and having Tinker TP in and pelt me with shit.
I can make it very simple for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think if you can pressure the tower with your 3, then that TP is good. But if that is not an option, then I would not TP and I would
So you're saying if we don't get kills, but we can walk at the tower as 3, you think that's on average a much better TP?
If you get kills and then you can pressure the tower, that's the fucking dream, right?
Yeah. I'm just saying that kills, like, good.
If you get kills but cannot pressure the tower, I think you need to kill the carry to make that worth it. I think if you get a 5 for your TP and then your 3 and you is like kind of stuck here, I don't think it's very good.
Okay.
So
having like a general criteria for this kind of stuff, I think is good. I mean, obviously, I know it's not black and white, but
I mean, it's very simpler. I think if top is weird, but you cannot push bottom because you can't in this instance. They have a Tinker blink, right? Pushing bottom is like suicide, actually.
On any jungling hero, I would have jungled my own jungle, ready to rotate back to lane. And I'm probably you're telling me I'm supposed to just do that on PA anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you're chilling, no? Okay. You can farm jungle pretty fast. Or like, average.
Okay.
I think that's what you do. And then, yeah, give THG the lane. If they do some weird shit to THG, you can always, maybe make your way back over there. But now I think it's like, kind of weird. Because now ET's like, he wants to kind of be bottom. Right? Like,
yeah, I see.
To pressure the tower, and like, do you want to be top as ET here? Probably not. So I think next time, if you get the carry and the 5, or only the carry, and you can pressure the tower a little bit, you can do that TP. But since they have a fucking Nyx, that's probably not happening.
Yeah. What a scale of 1 to 10, like how bad is a mistake like this to like the chance of winning the game?
I mean, 10 is like the game is unwinnable after, or what?
10 is like disaster level mistake. I wouldn't say it's like unwinnable, but like pretty drastic shift in like win percentage.
I'd say 5 to 6.
5 to
Probably
6.
5. Yeah. I think it's decently sized mistake. I think the mistake would be much lower if your hero can, farm these stacks at this point. Like if you're tiny right now, like you don't really care because you can farm ancients.
Yeah. Okay.
But PA is like you need to this shit needs to work. Like you need to be kind of hitting creeps at all times because your farm's so slow before Battle Fury.
Makes sense. Okay.
So that is the consensus here. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah. So, when I ask about like the severity of the mistake, I just want to know like I know I know a lot of you talking about is like what the map looks like before a TP, what it looks like after, and I felt like I didn't feel like the next 4 minutes for me were that awkward. But I could see how it's just simply worse for the ET, and it wasn't much better for me. It was probably worse for me.
I can tell you one thing. Being Tinker here and constantly having to go up here and pressure THG is not good for your game. Because Tinker, right now, you only scale through farming jungle with laser or through actually getting kills. So, if either you or THG are still farming up here, and you don't really have the chance of you dying is like pretty low. Like you're not really happy as Tinker, because also you have to TP to a tower and not to a creep wave, because you're always very far away from actually what's happening. You can always dodge the rockets with blur and all that stuff. So I actually don't think you're in that much danger in the top lane if you're when
it didn't seem like I was gonna die. It just felt like my team had to babysit me a bit with like the way they played was like how it felt.
Okay.
Like SF kept sitting right here, so I don't think I'm gonna die per se. It just felt inefficient.
I think that's just what
jungling
like his decision
seems like a clearly better option.
Like if he thinks he needs to babysit you, and you see it, you can tell him like I'm fine. Relax, my friend.
Okay.
I do that sometimes. Like when people stand behind me, I'm like, dude, what are you doing? I'm fine. Go away. I want the XP. Like, yeah, like.
That's probably a next step for me then, because a lot of times I'm more so just trying to adjust to what I think my teammates are doing, rather than like telling them I think they're right or wrong.
Yeah, I
about
think
what
you
they're
just do your
doing.
own thing. If you're
Yeah,
confident.
yeah.
If
So
you're not confident, then don't.
No, I think communication-wise, I didn't want him there, so I could easily say like, "Hey, man, play around mid. I'll farm this jungle or something." I think that's like a pretty good next step for me because I definitely don't make those kind of micro calls that fix the map. I think.
Okay.
So, it's a good point.
All right.
Yeah, like maybe if I'm around top jungling, maybe this could turn into something. But otherwise, I'm just jungling. That's probably what you're. That's probably like
Could
what
be.
I would be doing otherwise, right? Like, likely I'm not showing up to this, but there's like a chance if I were there that maybe the team played it differently or something. You're gonna see a moment that I'm really disappointed in myself whenever I do this. You'll see it. Ignore the catapult miss. Yes, I was disappointed in that too.
Okay. I thought that was it.
No, it's like a bigger mistake than that. So I know to back off before that range creep, and then I walk into the fucking triangle instead of walking backwards. Because I think they're ganking me here. So, like, I'm pissed because, like, I feel like I literally know this gank's coming. Like, I didn't even finish the range creep, and then I just walk right into it.
I mean, to make you feel better, this has happened to a lot of carries in scrims too.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm fucking supposed to know this shit, and I feel like this type of mistake... Is this mistake worse or less worse than the previous one? Like, would you expect that to be a more realistic mistake or a less realistic
I think this mistake happens, like, to a lot of carries. Like, I think any carry, actually. I don't think any carry will dodge this gank every game. I think if you dodge it, it's insane for your game. Not for your game, but for your team. Because they're spending 3
They're,
heroes.
like, pushing 2 other lanes. Yeah.
Like, your whole team is basically farming while they're not getting anything.
I feel like that's like the game-winning smoke dodge that I see, like, you know, TI caliber carries.
I think the next level play would, you know, in a scrim, you probably just tell your TAG to run in there and die for you, then you get counter kills.
I have done that before, but I didn't call that.
I think that's like the next level play. Like, your TG dies, you're here next to him, and then you just swarm this area with like 4 heroes and you kill them because you're only 3, right? And Tinker can't really connect there because he's not level 12 yet. That would be like a game-winning call, I think.
Yeah.
Hard to pull off in pubs, but I think it would be game-winning. Phantom Strike duration. What do you take here on 10? I mean, it's weird because you can't fight, and you also have an SF with duels that can't fight, and you're offlane lost. So this game is.
This game's really hard, but I want you to see how I handle it, and like I feel like I've made a lot of progress, even though it's like mistakes like that death to the smoke as well as the TP bottom that like. My question is, like, from my perspective of playing this game, I felt like I had a 25% chance to win if I played it without messing up. Like, that's, like, how I felt after this game. I felt like the mistakes I made the game unwinnable given the circumstances, but I could have maybe won if I played perfectly based on, like, the lanes and everything. I don't know if you ever think like that. I don't know, like, if that's like a unhealthy...
I do. There's some games where I'm like, if I die once, this game is over. You know?
Okay,
like,
so you generally will think, like, how much room for error you have from game to game. You'll think about that consciously.
So there is definitely some games where I'm like 8-0 as lone, and my entire team is feeding. I'm like, if I die once, guys, they will literally end the game, because you guys are all fucking useless, you know? There's definitely games like that.
I regretted going for that dagger. I should have blinked top, cleared that wave, and then done this TP.
Yeah.
So that was something I knew in the game was a mistake.
7k at 17. I mean, to put it
I didn't actually realize it was this bad, to be honest. Like, in the game itself. Like, I knew we were behind, but I didn't know it got this much worse this quickly.
To put it into perspective for you, I think that TP bottom was like, we said like a 5. I think that def was like maybe a 2, you know?
Yeah, okay.
I think that def happens so many times in pubs. Not even pubs. Probably every like pro game. But the TP, I don't think many people do.
Okay.
Alright.
That's good to know. It's good to know to average like reasonable mistakes, even because I know I'm not gonna like play perfectly all the time or whatever. So.
Ah, shit. Yeah, you can't fight them. They're without BKBs, there's actually absolutely no way. The fuck?
I was pretty sad on that death right there. That was a very sad death.
Alright. Saw you in the midwave going for the camp. I mean, yeah. Did you know he has silver?
If I had noticed he had a silver, if I had, I did not see it,
okay.
but I had the information to see it, I think, so I probably could have been more alert on that one.
Yeah, I think this game is hard from draft. Not hard, but I think you definitely don't have a winning draft. SFPA needs pretty much 2 BKBs to fight. And then after how the lanes went, I think this game is, as you said, like probably a 25% if you play perfectly.
Okay.
After like the TP mistake, probably like, I don't know, 20. And then after the other mistake, probably like, I don't know, 18, 17. It goes down very quickly. Wait, what happened to the BKB fight? I think that's, we can look at the BKB fight, and if that doesn't work out, I think game is over. Games like this is the only saving grace is like the double BKB fight, but he doesn't have this. Fuck. That's usually what you farm for, like double BKB and then you wanna fight. If that fight you don't win, then it's usually always GG's.
Would you have not even tried to fight here then, since you only have 1 BKB? Would you have like still tried to farm with the BKB, you know?
I think you don't wanna farm SF space, because priority number 1 is...
I'm saying, would you try to take the dangerous farm with like BKB TP prepared? Is that like how you would play with this BKB? Because I called for a smoke to get something done, but like I didn't even consider in the moment to wait to fight until double BKB. So in this case, would you, do you think you would have considered that? Or
the thing is, this, even though Sky is dead, it's a kind of 4v4 because the SF isn't even joining because he doesn't have
he's
BKB.
not really a hero. Yeah, I understand that when I'm seeing it now. Yeah.
BKB Aghanims. I mean, it's fucking hard, honestly. Looking at this, I think if you guys run into them and they're 4, I don't think you're winning. So maybe what you could have done is you run up top and push out that wave with blur.
Maybe force a reaction or some shit.
I think that's like the
Tinker,
only
right?
thing you can do. And SF gets like the camps here.
Okay, I see.
And then you get a BKB that way. It's like
I did not consider using my BKB to farm more aggressively for his BKB. I considered it obviously now before you said it, but like I did not consider that in game, so that makes more sense to like. I think in hindsight I would have done that, given infinite time to think about it.
Yeah, I mean I'm SF right now, and I know I can't fight without BKB, so I'm like, even though you call for this fight, I'm like I can't fight, you know.
Yeah, I see it. I see similar to what I do.
Also, I don't think what he's doing is very good right now. He needs to run out top. Like, you have to just get this BKB somehow. Now he's doing it, okay, finally. Yeah. Let's see, I
think that's kind of what I wanted to... Oh, okay, go ahead, yeah.
Double BKB, or is the game already over, I guess?
Well, you gotta watch that shit, man. That's the Essence Ring. That's the Essence Ring neutral item choice. I'm proud of. These are the kind of times in the past that I just always die. Like, right before that.
Oh! Alright.
Yeah, that's the kind of shit that I used to always die to, and I was like pretty proud of myself. I survived like the Skywrath Mage hunting me down. I survived that. I was like, man, I'm actually getting out of this shit. Can we do something? Like, fuck. That was like what I was thinking.
Holy fuck.
Indeed.
Oh my god.
I'm like, well, back to base I go, boys.
Jesus Christ, Sky is something else.
Yeah.
Double BKB, let's see one fight here. In games like these...
I actually messed up this fight because I mean, I'll tell you what happened. I think I still messed up, but Crit was... Okay, you can watch the Aegis fight. You can actually look at the Lifestealer Aegis. It's going to be at the, like, 30 seconds left on his Aegis. So I can give you, like, the exact time in the game when it's going to happen.
Should I fast forward or what?
Yeah, you can fast forward to that, I think. Yeah, right here. So we're, like, poking him down, and then Crit's saying, like, we can kill this guy after the Aegis. So I kind of tunnel visioned, and I didn't see... My SF didn't say anything, and I didn't see that he caught the Tinker. So I blinked on the Lifestealer to finish him off. Like, I didn't see this happening over here. If you, like, watch my perspective, I didn't see this. So then I go on the Lifestealer. And I feel like if I had maybe gone on Tinker there, it could have been game-winning.
I mean, he's glimmered right now, and you guys don't have detection. Oh, you have. Oh, never mind.
I have
Holy
dust.
fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
I mean, I ended up killing Lifestealer here, but this is the fight. I feel like if I didn't, I had to kill Tinker at the start based on what he did. So.
Me, yeah. Yeah, I think you did.
I just this is the kind of stuff where I'm like, I know I kind of messed up, but I feel like it's like a reasonable. I'm not like trying to make myself feel better or anything, but it's like I think I can learn from it. It's pretty tangible, and hopefully next time do it right. But that's the game. Right
I mean,
there.
the game will. The game might change. It's like one fight out of like probably 4 you guys need to win. You know, to win the game.
I'm thinking
it's like a step in the right direction.
I feel like when I watch like the best carry players, they have these like really bad games like this, and they'll win like 20% of them.
Yeah,
you know, and that's like a lot of what it takes to go to the next level. I feel like
it is
10K
usually. I can tell you guys, or you, to make it simple, it is usually on the double BKB where you will fight.
Okay.
Like you will.
That's something I can definitely
games.
keep more of an eye out for. I feel like I know that kind of shit, but in game I'm not thinking about it consciously. So.
I mean, if you have a spirit, he's probably not gonna buy BKB, so I guess your BKB only. But
it's just like whenever I know the other guy's at least capable of contributing. Yeah.
That's
I didn't consider
like
that this game.
The less you guys feed until you get that BKB, the more chances you have of actually winning the game. So that's how I see it. So if you can get that in decent time, I think you can still win, even after a horrible start.
No, this session it's really helpful. I feel like I'm like at least I do feel like I'm improving. I feel like I'm making better decisions. So like my MMR is reflecting on it, but I definitely and I feel like the closer I get to like 9 or 10K, I'll have more and more specific things that I need to improve upon. So what is this me?
It's a trend game.
Oh, dude, so the games that I've won, no, legitimately, the games I've won is where my carry forfeits the lane, but then tries to carry.
26 damage out of 500.
I still hit for 70. I still hit for 73.
I'm stupid as zero, actually. Sorry.
Okay, I got my blink.
He's coming.
I'm here.
Whipped himself.
I just got it. TP'd into the fight. Time to fucking carry these dog shit Sven players.
Bop. Oh shit! I fucking hate Trian so much.
Dude, this shit's so funny, dude. You actually have pretty good impact in the game. We end up winning off of that.
If you do this, yeah. Actually ravaged.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Right? I consider myself impressed.